pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First item of business is approval of the August 1st business session minutes.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Next up, approval of the bills list.
Move to pay the bill.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Next up, public comment. Yes, sir.
Right here.
That looks good.
All right, Corey Butts, 315 Prairie Street. Just real quick, I didn't know if there was a policy somewhere in the computer or wherever about the storms that we've had, if the roads are blocked. I understand, up here we had had to repair lines. I get that part, but I don't know if there's anything out there that states, hey, Public Works, this is their, they get, 48 hours, whatever it may be, just something to tell people, hey, this is how long it might take to clear the roads. A storm's a storm, you guys can't do nothing about that. I mean, JD can get a Bobcat work all day long, he may not be able to clear it, that's just how it is. But just having something like what's the primaries and secondaries, if that is something that you guys would consider talking amongst yourselves at some point, I know it'd be greatly appreciated. I know we had 2 storms this year. It's kind of odd since we've lived here for 5 years, but just something to bring to the attention. So,
Okay. Thanks, sir. Any other? All right, next up, committee reports. Admin and finance. I know that I've been working on the budget stuff. I hope to get with Alderman Ross and Norris here in the not too distant future so we can kind of put our heads together and see if we're all on the same page. So revenue projections are looking better than what they have in some recent years, so that's encouraging. The other fund balances are all in line about where we normally run. It's nice to see even on Fund 20, after putting money in that CD, we still got 50,000, which would pay our next payment. So we're looking good on that. The general fund has got 88,000 in it right now, so we've got payroll covered for the next go round, so that's nice. Overall, nothing remarkable or concerning. Street Fund 98, and are we current with Phillips paving now, or whoever was it? Paving?
Yeah, they've been paid.
So we could look at it if we wanted that on the rest of Park Street or what have you that we discussed earlier in the year. Don't have to do it right now, but I think we had pricing on that balance of that. Do you remember what that was?
So it was about 50, 60, something like that.
I think we bring in about 5,000-6,000 a month on that one.
We get about 15.
Is it? Okay. So that would, my biggest concern was making sure we have money to get the snow plows, make sure that it won't be, I hate thinking of snow, but making sure that we got enough, that if the plows have problems again this year, that we've got money to get those fixed, and we can buy gas, salt, and pay the crew. So that's the major issue I have on that. I think that's about everything from admin and finance. Public health and safety.
I think, did you get that today?
I do, yeah.
We had 41 summons issued, 43 reports, 12 warrant arrests, 6 ordinance summons. We presented 4 more state cases, still waiting on warrants on those. And then, I remember this, I think it was 2 weeks ago, I had Officer Geckler assigned to the Vacation Bible School. He worked all week up there at the church. I'm not sure who had more fun, the church or the kids or Officer Geckler, but everybody had a good time.
I just have to say, I know that I think Alderman Norris mentioned before the meeting, but I'd like to thank you for the job you and your team keep doing. I was probably getting a call or a text every other day prior to your arrival, and I haven't heard from anybody with Police Matters, and I don't remember when. That's how good it's been. So thanks for the work you guys are doing. Next up, Park Board.
We turned in the annual report to you guys today. You should have a copy of it. Other than that, Spray Park is done. We're gonna start working on some other projects. You'll see in the listing there, we've got quite a few different things to consider doing repairs. Other than that, there's nothing new really.
But we did get the okay to the city to finish the cleaning out now.
Well, that's in the next, or that's
Okay,
the
okay,
agenda
all
item,
right,
so.
all right.
This says you're operating in the negative?
No, that's just, we've had more in our account before that. It doesn't show the balance from what we had last year.
I just saw these things at the bottom.
Yeah,
I
no,
currently got over 300,000 in our
Yeah.
capital.
I would like to just say, nice job.
thank you.
That's amazing.
Thank you. We've done a lot of work this year and gonna do a lot more.
Mayor,
Yes, sir.
do we know, or have you guys established a time when you shut the spray park down and when you open, or is that kind of wait to see what the weather permits?
Yeah, we're just waiting to see how that goes. If it stays hot, we'll leave it open a little while longer.
Good, because I know all the swimming pools, a lot of places start closing when the schools start.
Yeah, and there's no reason, we don't have
Right.
lifeguards on duty, and it's just come and play as you want, so we'll just keep an eye on it, and when it doesn't get used very often, we'll
Great.
start turning it
I
off.
sure see a lot of old toddlers running past my house.
Yeah, it's nice seeing that.
It is.
Planning and zoning,
No report.
Public Works.
As some of you all have an email, I got an email from a certain citizen concerned about signs. They were taken care of today. I don't know if everybody got the pictures or not. But also starting next week, Andrew, the mechanic that we have for the city, is starting to work on the trucks to get the snow plows and everything, salters up to going, so we won't have like we did last year and, be stuck like a truck and be done. So that's all I have right now.
And where are we on water meters?
We are, I think that when Zena was up here, I think we did it right about, 95? So, and I think we still got 125 that we're still repairing.
Do we have those on order, or?
No, we got all the parts.
We got all the parts, we just,
Today they couldn't look on any of them because they was doing rebates for the building cycle that goes out, so.
Did we, I don't know if this is appropriate, but did we have any reports on issues with the water bills for this month? Because I went online and found mine, but I never got a water bill.
Really? Huh. No, that's what's up.
So I think mine will be probably, my official issue date will be fine, but because my bank takes like 6 days to get it here, it'll be late.
No, I haven't gotten that. Casey hasn't told me of any reports. I haven't taken any reports of people not getting the bills.
Yeah, I have the post office
Well, I looked at-
app where they tell you when you're getting your mail, and
I
I don't have it, it never showed up on my emails, and it's not in my mailbox.
So what did you do to make Casey now?
Gonna balance the budget on that free son.
I know, I looked at the front desk and I took $16,000 worth of payments on yesterday alone, so I had to stack it. People came in.
Along with that email, I got a phone call, so, complaint about Hazel Street and potholes and stuff that's been complained about for 2 years, so when you're an alderman in your ward and you get a complaint, you can bring it before the board, so I'm bringing it now, and it's in the worst, some of the worst category of everybody else, no different than a lot of the other places, so I'm bringing it up as to, I know we've got things scheduled and we've found somebody that can do the actual cutting and asphalt cheap, so I was wondering where we could go is at least maybe take care of some potholes that are 6 inches or more deep, and some of the areas to at least smooth that over till we can get that done.
Well, we can get that started Tuesday, I'll down quickly.
Yeah. So, yeah, if you drive down there, they're not good. And there's one over off of North Hudson, when you make that curve to the park. I hear a pickup got caught in that. It's bad. If you cut that corner too sharp, you're gonna lose your axle. So,
Is that where they just put the stuff in on the corner?
I don't know if you're gonna have to put a new culvert in there or not to fix that. I don't know how you're gonna fix that. It's a huge hole. Or fill it full of rock or something,
Yeah.
but it's bad. I mean, I'm this deep, not sickness, you're gonna lose an axle in it. And it's easy to turn that corner too sharp because it's a 90-degree turn. So that definitely needs to be, something needs to be done.
I'm wondering that it wouldn't be too much trouble, because I don't want people to work on it, but I'm kind of wondering if we should get a list of all the problematic areas in town so we can do check marks rather than complaint driven, because it feels like the complaints maybe aren't getting resolved in a timely manner, but if we had that checklist, we got that on the list, at least we have it on the radar.
Well, they need to, we also run through the budgeting process.
Right.
We have some idea.
We brought that up, what, 2 meetings ago? They were gonna map out the city, and then maybe circle a number on 1, 2, 3 in importance. But that was something we'd already brought up. And then we'll go to budget after that, but still, at least it's, like he said, it's uniform, and we know where we're heading somewhere.
Yeah, get the list first isn't a bad idea.
Rather than complaint, I mean, not that complaint driven isn't okay. It's just bringing problems to everybody's attention. I'm just telling you some of the ones that, because I pass them when I ride my golf cart. So,
Next up, old business, there is none. First item, new business, discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding the wetlands. Mr. Jones?
What's that?
You're the first item on the new business regarding the wetlands.
Oh, what was that?
it's golf today.
Oh, back in the day, some time ago, we had a wetland, and then, for some reason, a backhoe was taken to that, or bobcat or something, and we no longer have a wetlands, and we thought about, we need to pass that if we possibly can, and recreate a wetland down there. Does that make sense? Everybody understand what I'm saying about
We drained the wetland.
we drained it, yeah, probably 4 or 5 years ago.
No, it's longer than that.
Was it longer than that, Joe?
The last couple
Been a
of
while.
superintendent before me,
And why? Why did we?
because he was trying to control the muskrats.
Yeah, the
So he
muskrats
took
took
it
it
back
down a
home
little,
and
burrow into
put
the
in.
bank, and then
Oh,
create
to get rid of
leaves
the
and so forth,
muskrats.
I guess.
And that's why I
I
thought,
thought
if you go down there,
you'll let way to eliminate
You
the
got
problem.
spots
You know,
where
my
you
mom
have vegetable water.
had problems with farm ponds all her life about muskrats, building back into the dam, and then next thing you know, go all the way through and leaks, and you have leaks in the project. And I guess we did that some time back, but we've never repaired it to where it would hold water again.
How deep does that get?
Pardon?
How deep does that get as a wetland?
I can't tell you, but it's not super deep. I'm guessing it never gets over 4 or 5 feet deep, if I'm guessing. And it's kind of funny how the geese and the wild duck used down there, but they have been on that for years now. So I just thought maybe we need to probably look into repairing that, because that's part of the drainage system that we have coming out of the treatment plant to go into that reserve, and then goes on from there on out to the fire prairie. So it's not been
That part?
utilized
Yeah.
for some time now.
Do you want to?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So Park Board has discussed, working on the wetlands, and from the report I turned into you, today, it shows what we have been doing, just this year at the wetlands. it's gonna be a slow process, but it's not been taken care of for some time. Like, we just had the roof put on and done some other smaller things. We are in discussion about putting water back in there. It's a joint effort. It's not only between the city of Buckner, but Fort Osage School District and someone else. Yeah, yeah, and I talked to Joe, just the other day about what we could do. I'm waiting to talk to a conservationist about the area, but Joe had mentioned that we might be able to, what did you call it? What you put in there?
System in it, a weird system, so you
So,
can control the level, which would control the messeras.
and what I've heard is we need to drain it every year, or maybe even more often than that, just to keep the muskrats out. But we'll need to put in a system in order to where we can let the water in and out. But we're working on it, but it might be a slow process. I'm gonna talk to the school district again and see if they still wanna be involved,
Okay,
but
but I want to tell you, this was an excellent report that you got what you've done and what you're wanting to have happen in the future.
yeah, there's a lot we want to
There
get
is.
done, but it just takes so much time just to get one project done, but, yep,
Very nice report.
thank you.
Yeah.
All right, next up, discussion, consideration, and action regarding purchasing and installing a UPS for the server room.
Hi guys, it's been a while since we got talked to. So currently your guys' UPS is in the server room. You have two of them. Neither one of them are actually holding the voltage when they're, so every time you guys have a power outage up here, you guys are losing all your servers. Every time. They can only handle that so many times before they do not come back up. If they don't come back up, you guys start to lose out on a lot of data really fast.
So we don't have those backed up to the cloud.
We're backing up to another machine. You were not backing up to the cloud, no, because of the cost of it. We had discussed it at one point. Just the cost of it would be just too exorbitant. So we are doing a backup to an actual device, but that device is also on those UPSs. So it's one of those situations that we need an electrician in here, they can get UPSs set up, and then the UPS is connected. So it's just kind of a giant project. And Joe and I have talked about it many a time. I know we've got like 3 different electricians in here so far, taking a look at it. So
The UPS is a power supply of some sort?
universal power supply, so it's just basically a giant bank of batteries just to back up power. And I believe the UPSs that we are putting you guys at, they should give you guys about 30 minutes to an hour. So that gives us plenty of time for generators to kick in, whatever else, just to keep everything going. But that keeps everything on, where it doesn't automatically just go and shut down. The other great thing is, if the other batteries are depleting, UPSs will actually systematically shut down the actual servers individually and soften it away so that you guys don't lose data.
What kind of batteries are we talking?
There are actually 6-volt batteries, there's a bank of them inside of each of the UPSs.
How many?
8.
These are deep cycle?
Yes.
If I can elaborate, so on the, I don't know if you guys met me, I'm just, you know, the on-site tech, I come out here, 3 times a month now, and, I've been here just about a year. I can tell you, it's at least been 10 to 12 times that I've had to come out here, get power things out on, it takes hours to come back up. And then you go here and do checks, so I know it looks like a lot, but it's gonna save you data loss, and it's gonna save you from eating other billable hours when this does go down.
Is there one of the 3 that you guys recommend?
For the electricians? Yeah.
Joe, was the one that you decided on?
Pro circuit is the cheapest one.
Pro circuit, okay.
We up to a company.
I was letting Joe bet out the electricians, I apologize.
Yeah.
And I had walked the site with the electrician, kind of showed me what we wanted and stuff. It's- You guys just lost power, was it yesterday again?
No?
I believe it was yesterday, or overnight when that last storm came through. there was stuff off when I came in this afternoon.
Well, we have an electrician put that emergency power backup there.
Hey, it was like, okay.
And they changed the
Down that
circuits,
room then.
they changed the circuits to the house.
What all, well, I'm kind of looking at it,
But these guys let you know it's, the equipment itself is over $5,000. The total project to buy the battery backup and have them installed and have the wiring and all that done is about an $8,180 project total.
but like a lot of money.
$8,187.60. And the way, if you guys approve it, it'd be divided between all four funds. So it'd be general fund, police department, street, water, and sewer.
That 8,000, is that one of these bids here?
No,
This is on top of it?
yeah, that's on top of it.
Okay.
Not the big hits, but how do we justify taking that out of the streets?
I didn't say it'd be water, sewer, and general fund, police. Because the police department's got their own sewer in
These are
there.
the
That's why they have to have two
Yeah.
dedicated.
Those are the electricians.
Yeah, solid. That's what it looks like.
And the materials are 5.
Yeah. The second page, after
Jeez.
the second page right here, that's for the cost of the UBS backup, and it's $5,939.38. Then I got 3 bids from the electricians to install it. The cheaper one was $2,248.27 out of the control circuit.
I know this is anecdotal, but I work in an environment that has generators and UPCs, and these thing when the power goes down, it seems like it still flickers and you have to reboot everything anyhow. So, how does that?
That's the benefit of the UPS is because it won't do that. Basically, it'll stay on the battery backup until the generator actually kicks in. At no point do the servers or anything attached to the UPS system actually lose power. So it saves a lot of wear and tear on the actual devices that are connected to it. And not only that, but then you guys don't take the chance, like I said, you guys don't take the chance of any battle loss.
I get it if it was coming back. I guess I'm thinking in terms of surge. I get, if it's flickering, that should level out the voltage.
Yes, that will also level out the voltage quite a bit. They actually have a surge suppression built into them.
So if it's like a high voltage, if it, through the UPS, it detects that, it will actually swap your battery power to say it was, it's more than a big, down in your case.
Yeah, that's just the electrical.
Yeah, it doesn't always, there's probably a configuration issue. They're not easy today, not stuff like that, won't seem to see that over.
Yeah, you want
This
to
is
just
it here.
correctly
It's like
configured.
this. This is the equipment stuff.
It's not device
That's why there's $6,000.
And there isn't a bid from anybody else.
Joe, so what's all in again, like okay, let's say we go with the lowest bid,
Yeah.
$2,000, and then,
$8,187.60.
okay, that's all together.
Yeah.
That's including this 2,000.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
total
that's
project. That's a
okay.
total
When I
project.
asked you that, you said, no, this is on top. Okay.
But yeah.
I feel better now.
So
So it's 59, 39, 33 plus whatever bid we
Yeah.
did over here.
What's
Okay,
that
got it.
environmental card?
Environmental guard, that actually tracks the temperature in the room as well as moisture. So that way, if it's getting too hot in the room, the UPS can take and send us an alert. If there's too much humidity in the room, it'll send us an alert. Basically, it's just so you can send us alerts, so that way we actually are notified, we can adjust as necessary. Or call Joe, hey, can you open up the door? It's way too hot in there, something's gonna end up cooking.
Is the management just telling us that it's offline, or what's the management?
Pretty much the management card is going to basically just do that. It's going to tell, it tells us when everything's offline. B, the other thing that it does is that's the part that actually gently shuts down the servers.
And those alerts, it detects unusual amounts of voltage going through the devices, or when it swaps the battery, swaps back, you can kind of see, they wear on battery for 15 minutes.
So we don't have anything similar to this right now?
You guys have UPSs, but they're very outdated. The batteries are no longer in condition, and I believe the power circuits on them are not very good at this point.
But they don't have any way of looking at a history or something to see how often they're
No,
activated?
sir, they are not smart UPSs. They are just literally just a bank of batteries, and that's it.
So tell me what a smart UPS is then. You said it was a 6-volt battery.
A Smart UPS, but the difference between smart UPS and regular UPS, smart UPS is able to shut down the servers. Regular UPS, it's just a bank of batteries, that's all it is. It literally, there's stuff plugged into it, it kicks over to it. Whenever it has power again, it just turns it back on.
Another part of the smart is it senses those alerts, so you know randomly storm rolls through, so we expect a storm today. I get an alert on my phone at 11:30 that we swap over to battery power.
Okay, so just one more question. When you came and gave us our speech for the diamond batteries, and I know we turned down the cloud backup, but was this something in that you knew we was going to come up against?
No, at the time we didn't.
How?
Because at the time we weren't experiencing a lot of power outages here, so we hadn't seen it with UPSs yet.
Think, and if I'm reading my colleague here right, that why didn't you go through everything instead of what's working now versus checking everything out first go around?
Right, and I understand that.
I don't know, it hasn't been just diamond, but it just seems like when we buy stuff from a company, it just seems like every so many months, we're spending thousands and thousands of dollars for the same, with the same product, instead of bringing us the product and saying, this is what we gotta do, and if we have to do it in series, whatever, but not feeding it to us a spoonful at a time. That's what I feel like was happening. So, I mean, I'm just, if it was my house, I wouldn't be happy.
I totally agree.
So, that was all. I'm not trying to aggravate you or anything. I'm just trying to figure out what we're gonna need now and in the future.
Right.
I mean, I
Not 3 months from now say, okay, oh yeah, we need this too, because I feel like that's what keeps happening.
So this investment, you get this, you're looking at 5 to 7 years of these devices. So it's not just hey, 2 years later we come asking you to spend another $80,000 on batteries. And I know it seems like they're just batteries, but these, like the smart part, make the network connected, which it talks to everything. It's truly, and I can even go back and manage the pool all the times that I had to come out here and show you what that costs us each time we lose power, and what it costs me to get everything back up as far as time billed to the city.
Okay.
If you guys want that, I can go back into our ticketing system and pull that.
To make that like that, yeah.
I just want to make sure I heard you right. So these universal power supplies are good for 5 to 7 years, is that what you
Yes.
said? Thank you.
And these newer model ones, if a battery does go bad, they make batteries for them, so.
Yeah, you literally just pull out the cage, swap out a single battery, slide it back.
Are those warranted where if they've got a particular life and if they die before then, we just get a replacement for
These
free?
UPSs, the ones that we're going to be putting in, they currently have a 3-year warranty on them, manufacturer's warranty. So if anything goes wrong in the first 3 years, we can pull the entire thing out, send it back to the manufacturer, say, Snyder Electric, get brand new ones.
Great, thank you.
They're not lithium.
No, they're not lithium.
Fire.
Is there, I mean, I'm just saying, is
They're
there
lead
any
acid batteries.
any reason why they're not lithium?
Snyder doesn't make, no UPS manufacturer makes a lithium battery currently.
It should be cheaper.
But lithium?
No, the lead. should be
Lead acid
cheaper.
is way cheaper, yeah.
Yeah.
They are, but lithiums last longer. In certain applications.
Right.
Put them in our Tesla.
So you had some sort of car that they had one of those and they blew it up.
So is there a motion or a recommendation?
I mean, I think we need them, right? What, is that what I'm hearing, is that we need these to keep from?
Yeah, from losing.
I guess I'm just trying to make sure I understand. Our risk is around the power going down and having a hard shutdown where we could lose some period of time between whatever the last backup was and the time that it crashes.
Correct.
So we're exposing, how often do we back these things up?
You're backing up daily, but more on the long lines of, this is costing you guys X amount of hours every time that this happens. Cost you guys, and we're, I mean, how many power outages do you think you had in the last 6 months, Joe?
3.
3.
Somebody's been at my house. That's how many times I fired up my generator.
Well, I've taken care of 3 of them myself, and I know he's taking care of more
We're
of
going
them
out at
here.
least on 2 or 3 separate Saturdays in the last 6 months to get the PE back up. And it's also, we actually have a door right now because of the electrical problem.
And what, I mean, this ballpark, what's the service call cost?
Hourly, what it takes.
Yeah.
Joe, how much is the hourly rate that, for charging you per person a year? The hourly rate?
I just checked it out.
Okay.
I want
$50 an
I
hour.
want to say it's $90.
Let's just, give or take a
Yeah.
ballpark about it, $9,200 every time.
$800 a row.
I mean, it's, you can look at it this way, you're rolling the dice. I mean, essentially, these things are not gonna come back up eventually, and that's not what I told Joe.
But at some point, I mean, what's the life of this machine that's in there now anyhow? I mean, are we gonna be replacing it in a year or 2 years?
That's,
Either
so
way.
you're currently running on a 2012 Windows server for your file server.
So it's probably in the life anyhow.
Right.
Now, like, truly, I wish it was been replaced.
So
like
to
a year
Mr.
ago.
Walcott's, I mean, what,
You guys-
what feels like is we're gonna put these batteries in here.
So-
And then in 12 months, you're gonna say we're running on a 13-year-old server, and you're gonna be 100% right, that rascal needs to be replaced. But if we replaced it now, instead of buying the batteries with that, I mean, you're still throwing the dice on whether you're gonna make it crap out, but it's, you know, it's where you spend your money.
So, I mean, if you want to throw a $30,000 server into an unstable power situation, that, once again, that's a risk you can take.
I think what they're saying is it'd be nice to have all the information, what we gotta replace, rather than it coming in these big chunks. Because what sounds like if we need to replace servers in the next, I don't know, what would be your recommendation on the server?
On their other servers in 2019, yes?
Yes.
Okay. So you guys, police department has its own server, city hall has it, has 2 servers actually. They have their old server and a current server. Goal currently is to get everything off of the old server and onto the current server. So that way we don't have to worry about that 2012 server, we can get that thing out of there. But those 2 servers, they are slowly but surely running out of space. I would say 2, maybe 3 years, you guys are gonna have to replace them here.
And that doesn't even begin to discuss the security vulnerabilities with running a 2012 server. I mean, we've got all the securities that we can do on our side, but there's only so much you can secure old hardware.
So you're currently working on moving this stuff from the 2012 server to the newer server?
Yes, sir.
When's the completion time on that?
Well, it's all depending on how much time we can spend on it, because it's the fact of, we're kind of limited on our scheduling here. So, I'd like to say we could have it done by next month, but there's.
Be realistic, I mean, give me a ballpark.
Probably about 6 months, 3 to 6 months.
Okay.
How long?
3 to 6 months to get all the data off of the old server and onto the current one.
And do we need to expand the capacity on that, or will that be buying a whole new machine, or can we put more slots into the existing?
Currently, all the slots on the servers are full. We can expand it by putting more hard drives in it, but that's kind of like beating a dead horse.
At that point, you've got your processes are being bogged down by the amount of currently running. That's why that physical box still is alive, because the current box of your virtual machines we use can't handle running that additional file server. So now they copy each other each night.
I can't remember our discussion when they first showed up on replacing those. I remember they gave us the option of the newer server versus the 2019 or something like that.
Yeah, I remember the discussion.
But I don't remember the time zone as far as needing to replace and put a new one in and what we discussed on that.
And was that actually hardware, or was that the a software that we were looking at that was the 2019, upgrading the software to a more modern?
I believe that was for the SQL server at that time, but actual like OS and
Yeah, that's
hardware and all that fun stuff. Trying to think back myself. It's 2019, correct me, when is the support for that one, do you remember? I think it's 2026.
October 26th.
So, we may be looking at some time in the future regardless.
At this point, I feel like we'd be better on some kind of a yearly plan versus, you understand what I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah.
it's crazy. It's hard to make decisions this way. 'Cause I don't
Yeah.
have your guys' technology in my head, so it's making it hard to make decisions.
Well, the issue is how fast this stuff evolves too, makes it difficult to project things.
When you're talking about the speed of the process, I don't know, I would guess the stuff that the police run, probably they need pretty quick run, you know, but for the most part, if it's spreadsheets and email, do they really need all that horsepower? I mean, you know, it's great when you click it that it, boom, it's there, but if you have to count the two and it loads, you know, it's not like the old days of watching a dial-up.
If we were talking about just file server, yeah, you don't need a lot of horsepower for that. But for something like accounting software or ticketing software for the police department, something like that, yes, they require more processor speed, higher end processors, higher end, more data movement at all times.
Worst case scenario labs, we don't.
You lose every data.
I don't know about, like, how much, all of it?
24 hours.
24 hours of data.
Worst case, right? I mean, it
That- and
crashes
that's if
the
we-
second before it was due to back up.
Yeah, but that's if we can get equipment. And so like if the servers take a full blown, just, they go belly up completely. Power supplies toast, motherboard just takes a full blown, it's gone.
Because of the shutdown?
Yeah, exactly. And that's the problem is the power supplies and the motherboard, that's what the power, the constant power fluctuations, that's what it's gonna.
So it's like an overgrown surge protector.
Right. So the more times that goes down, the more chance of you actually losing the entire piece of hardware. At that point, we'd have to replace it with a different server.
So, I was gonna say, this UPS pack that we're considering will be compatible with any, if we have to get new servers in 2 to 3
It doesn't care what it's plugged into. You can plug a fan into it and it really doesn't care.
And the next server we're looking at, you're saying is about 30 grand.
Give or take, yes, sir.
Once again, I think 5 to 7 year, once you make that purchase, you're good for 5 to 7. We recommend 5, we can limit things long for 7. But it's-
Because evidenced by the 2012 we're running right now.
Yeah, definitely. That's the work, it's definitely when you know, on blocks, it's,
See better, guys.
it's,
It's a $6,000 year investment, basically.
Right. And this would be the kind of the down payment to at least foundationally get the power supply smoothed out and hopefully make sure the existing.
Right, 'cause
Get
what
us
we're-
to next year.
What we're doing here is inconsequential to what server we're running.
Right, right, yeah. And you split it over the 3 funds, the general fund would still be solid. It would take 3 or 4 grand out of it for this.
So basically, you just need a motion for which one of these companies we're gonna go with.
I think my take would be to proceed with it and who the preferred vendor is.
Let's see. Well, we'll make a motion that we use Pro Circuit.
That's the 2,000.
Yeah, that's what I think we're talking about. And do I need to tack on everything on the next page?
And I would say the Diamond, the APC, UPS.
Yeah,
That's
how's that down?
So we have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Any additional discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Aye. So we're in the battery business.
appreciate you guys, thank you.
Sorry about all the questions.
No, that's what we're here for.
ETA on the UPS?
About 2 weeks ago.
PG2.
3 to 6 months.
I'll call my boss tonight, he'll put it in order, probably tomorrow morning.
We'll probably schedule Saturday, you go ahead and bring the city down, or sometime after hours, bring the city down and bring them back up.
You'll want to stick around because you're over the next item.
Yes, I don't.
Next up is discussion, consideration, of possible action regarding purchasing ransomware and phishing software. I'm guessing defense. I'm guessing we're not getting into ransoming or
No.
phishing.
I hope not, I really do. So, what you guys probably have in front of you is a quote for Signet and Hook Security.
Yes.
I brought with us our security guy, that is literally what we hired him for, is just to do security.
He's not big.
No, he's not big, but he's smart, so it's okay. So currently, I was going through your guys' cybersecurity insurance policy. Joe had sent it over to me. I went through it. Currently, you guys are being required to have a EDR and an NGAV, which he'll actually define for you guys. The products that are on those pages actually are in pure response to that requirement. Bryce, if you want to go ahead and address it.
Yeah, hi, I'm Bryce. Yeah, so according to your insurance, you have to have a NGAV, which is a next-gen antivirus. So it's kind of the new industry standard for detecting, someone clicks a link in your email or someone breaks into your computer somehow. It's how modern day things are detecting that stuff. So that's the product we have that does that. It's industry leading, it's big companies use it. It's a great product. That's SINET. That's your NGAV and your EDRs, the other stipulation you have to meet for that insurance, and that's your endpoint detection. So it allows you to do domain filtering. If a user is going to click on a website that's detected to be bad or malicious, it'll block it and not let that happen. It has has an automatic response as well. So if a user does click a link, the software itself will automatically delete that file, report it to us and the SINET company in general, and they have a 24/7 support team that handles any of that kind of stuff. I know I'm trying not to get too much into the weeds about it, but is there anything specific, question-wise? Biggest thing is,
Does it send fake phishing emails?
so that's the hook
That's
security.
the-
They're two separate products.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what the hook security does, is it allows us to create phishing campaigns where, it sends out emails that are test. You click the link, it'll notify us who clicked, and it'll tell you, this is a test, you click the link, here's what to look out for in the future to not click the same thing. And also,
St. Luke's does that.
We do too.
And also
they
with
carry
that,
stuff.
Most companies nowadays have to do it for cybersecurity insurance.
well, is 90% of all ransomware attacks come from a user clicking a link. It's usually, most of the time it's in user stuff. So with Hook, it does the phishing campaigns, and you're able to send training videos on, quarterly basis, every 6 months, when you're, just your cyber awareness training stuff. Not to click this link, someone's calling asking for something to verify who they are.
Are there two of these for two different servers?
One for the police and one.
One for the police, okay.
Yeah.
Is this per,
So
how
SINET,
long? I mean, this fees for
This is a one-time.
one time per year or?
No, forever.
Is it monthly?
no, so what you have is two different prices. One is for SINET, which is going to be per endpoint, so per computer server, any kind of device. And then the hook security is per user. So but both of those are per month costs.
Oh, okay, because I saw there was a hook and sign up on two different pages, so one for the police department.
One's for the police department, one's for the city hall.
So that'd be 500 a month, 500 and something a month for both.
I would say
It's about 32.
And to take into consideration, I'm not sure what you guys are paying a month for Big Defender, your current endpoint detection,
Uh-huh.
but that'll replace, sign up replaces Big Defender, so
Looks like cost that will be.
I don't know off the top of my head what it is.
Just under $6 per endpoint.
Yeah.
Just what?
Yeah, this-
Just under $6 per endpoint is what you guys are paying for Bit Defender. I think it's like $582.
Okay, it says 375.
I know we paid,
Well, this could be city hall.
we paid,
One,
Yeah.
we paid $90
We got
a
13
month
incidents.
a piece,
Yeah.
city hall side, and so that's $180 a month, or I'm paying here, vendor and Judo. So I don't know which, that's how the bill comes.
Okay, something wrong with that, I apologize.
Just kind of a FYI, on the police one, if you can put Chief Hedger on there, you've got former Chief Hacker as your point of contact.
I'll take care of that. Sorry about that, Chief.
I don't buy anything, sorry.
He's our chief.
So we have 19 users in city hall?
I think that's for the police.
So users, you guys are technically considered users, you have a email account, you're considered a user. So they pay a monthly cost for you to have
Okay.
a at citybutler.org email, that's your 365 licensee cost.
That's why, in the past, like, we don't have Jimmy Jones on one, we don't have Gary on one, we don't have Ruben on one. Now we just getting you on one because,
Yeah.
so, because I was trying to save the city money, because I know Jimmy don't ever use his. Gary hasn't, just got on. but everybody else has got the citybutton.org email.
And it's pretty much anybody who has an email address would have to have public security.
Because they did verify our insurance as well, so.
And yeah, somebody clicking a link, like all of them click a link on their phone, could also cut their network.
I mean, I make a motion to approve it if we have to have for insurance.
Is there a second?
There is.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Very good.
Appreciate it, gentlemen. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time, Steve. Discussion and consideration of possible action regarding the park board's request for fully clearing the levee in the park. I wanted to clarify, because I misspoke at the last meeting. I thought that going to the sewer plant, I thought the park board was doing that, but that's actually, the park board was informing me, but it was that we should do it, but we should pick that one up. So I don't know if that's what this was about, was to clarify.
No, actually, so the word levy is an error. It's actually, so the park, we have our park area, then we have the triangle area right across the creek. Then there are two other sections of park, so it's the park, the housing addition, and then there's more parkland. Then there's a little strip that a homeowner has, and then more parkland after that. So it's those two areas that are east of the park that are overgrown, and I think used to the city would mow, and it was swampy a lot, from what I've heard. We've never had it mowed, so it's gonna cost, I think it's $4,000, but it's for both pieces. So it's overgrown with trees, and since Ken is down there doing all the work, and he has the equipment there, I don't know if you guys have seen the park yet, but he's been clearing out the creek bed area and that whole triangle, and he's doing way more than what he should, so, but anyway, so we have the extra pieces of land that we would like to get mowed. He's gonna take out anything that is 3 inches and smaller and clear all that area out. It's just very overgrown.
Is the properties that you're talking about landlocked, or is there access to them?
Through the levee. You can take the levee to it.
Yeah, you can get to it through the levee. There is on Park Avenue, if you follow all the way down the hill, there's a little outlet. There's not a road, but there's a start, and that's part of the property back there.
Is that down by Ken Olson's?
Yeah, right next to it.
Goes all the way down to Beansville.
But we'd just like to get those areas taken care of, cleaned up. I'm sure the
What-
neighbors around there would appreciate
What's
it.
he doing? How much is he doing that for? How much is summer with Summers?
He's gonna clear all that out for $4,000.
The part he's done so far, according to the notes in here, is 3,500, is that correct?
And that was the clearing of all the creek, plus the triangle, plus he's taken all that dirt
Yeah.
and piled it up over there.
Right.
It looks awesome.
It does, we were down there this afternoon.
And that $4,000 also includes cleaning the levee out and mowing that down to the
You
Beansville.
mean Fire Prairie?
I'm sorry, say that again?
I was trying to clarify what Ruben was
The
saying.
creek, well.
Down Fire Prairie and then plus the.
So it went the length of the park to the end of the track
Uh-huh.
so far.
And then he's gonna finish cleaning out the
You will cross over to the south
Yeah, you guys
side
are
of the
gonna
creek.
take over that to the treatment plant. But then we have the two big pieces of land that we'd also like to have done.
Is he gonna do that, or is that not up to us to do that?
He's gonna do it. It's gonna
That's
take.
several acres down there, folks, if you're not familiar with it.
About 16 acres, something like that.
That's the one that we, about 6 years ago, we let the police officer use
Yep.
it on it.
Yep.
Soybean damming, and it did. Oh, yeah.
Well, and I know it was told to me that it was just nothing but swamp, but it's.
It was
I'm
pretty
driving
firm
my-
today.
We just took it today. I'm driving my golf cart after rain, and I don't know, I think it's usable, could be usable.
That's kind of what we'd like to see too, because I've
Yeah.
never seen it actually cleared out.
And this one, the park board's gonna pay for this one, right?
Yes.
Okay. Just
Yes.
clear.
And once we have, the creek is cleared out now, so we can have them come back in and mow next year a couple times, and it'll stay looking that good. Same thing with those extra pieces of land, which we do plan on doing. We want to keep it up from now on so it doesn't get overgrown again.
Are you asking the city to clean that, or the park board's gonna do it?
No,
Mr. Summers.
we're doing it.
Yeah. And so we just need to,
Give the okey-dokey to spend the money.
it's absolutely amazing, yeah. And I think it'll help keep all the trees that were in there. It's ridiculous. I mean, it could easily dam up in a good hard rain.
And this year, we've had some campers, let's say, down there at the park and in the trees and areas, so we're hoping cleaning that up, that will avoid that.
I didn't know that.
It'd be a deterrent.
Yeah.
Do you have any future plan for this? Or
Yeah, it's
is
in
there anything
here.
you want to do with this land once it's cleaned up?
Well, our next thing that we're doing is disc golf. So we're gonna put in the 9 course. There's an option to do 18, which would allow us, if we use all that land back there, which that would bring in more people to play. That's just a thought right now, but that's kind of why we'd like to also see it mowed. So we can actually take a look at the land and see what it's like.
Just a curiosity.
Yeah, yeah. I wish it could be used, a lot of land back
I think
there.
it'd be a great addition.
I'll make a motion to approve that.
Second.
Any additional discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up, discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding repairing the lights at City Hall.
Yeah, as you can tell, we got 22 lights, canister lights throughout all City Hall that is not working, they're obsolete. I have been to all the major suppliers, electrical suppliers, and leased them to relate to call them, and can't get it. The light bulbs are obsolete, even on Amazon. So, what we like to do, I got two contracts that put bids on. I contacted some other electric companies, but these are the only two that put bids on. And they're gonna come in and actually keep the canister, cut out the ballast, and replace them with LED lights.
Good.
And the cost of that is gonna be, once again, pro circuit, $169.53.
Could we see if they would give us any kind of break if we combine that with the computer piece, since they could mobilize once instead of?
I can ask, I don't
Okay,
say to ask, but, like I said, the police department's hallway's totally dark out. You go back there right now, it's totally dark out. So,
Is there
that's why the
a
ones up here at City Hall, in the lobby right here is totally dark out.
Is there a warranty or anything on the lights, the new contract?
There's a warranty on the whipper ship, but not the lights. Because they're just about light bulb, I mean, it's gonna be the.
Right, so they're gonna replace the
No, they're gonna-
housing?
No, they're gonna keep the housing, they just replace, they're cutting the ballast out, because each ballast,
Oh,
it's got a pin that's specifically for that ballast, that's why it's
That's why they
obsolete.
can't change the bulb.
And then, and then we wire them to be straight, to be LED lights now.
okay. Oh, okay.
And there's 22 throughout all City Hall.
But those are easily, like if an LED burns out in 3
Yeah.
years.
Then you can just change the bulb.
Yeah, we just go to Home Depot, whatever, go grab one.
I make a motion. Oh,
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Pro Circuit, 156953, canister lights repair.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? All right. Next up, elected officials' comments. Mr. Jones.
Got a couple. Would it be feasible for us to look into getting our own backhoe? We've got that project over there, and we've been sitting on this for almost 2 years. Hospital and Park, we're gonna put in a drop box. We had a project going, and we had a bid of like 6,000 or 7,000, and now to cut the street, put it back in, so forth, it ballooned up to 29,000. So maybe we ought to buy our own product.
And I wonder, because doesn't that John Deere have a backhoe with it?
Yeah, but John Deere's got a blown engine.
No. What I was told was that there was when I talked to the people at Ag Power, and they said their gut was, because I was told the transmission didn't work. And they said most common with that tractor, especially if it sets out, is that those breaks, rust onto the drum, and that you, unless you just take a hammer and beat the hell out of it.
You talk about the old one and the newer one. We got two John Deere tractors down here.
The one that I was, the one that electrically doesn't have a transmission in it.
Okay, that's the older one, yeah.
And, I mean, and with the backhoe,
That
we have,
one
that
didn't have
fit
a
on
backhoe, that one didn't have a backhoe attachment with it. The newer one has backhoe attachment with it. And it's got a blown engine. You took it to,
Ag Power in Higginsville. It's gonna cost about $22,000.
What size tractor is that?
I don't remember off the top of my head.
I said mid-80s, like 87-ish.
Oh, that's the year.
Yeah.
Right, not a.
I think it's like
Like a
650.
3500 series.
something like that, yeah.
Because the new one's gonna be, what, 35 to 40,000?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, you just fix the one we got, I mean, it'd be cheaper and it would do more than just be a backhoe.
Oh,
A front loader or brush hog, or you could do.
Yeah,
other
because
things.
we have to,
Definitely.
to get all the attachments for it. We have to make sure brush hog and.
All these things just sitting out in the weather.
For. The one,
Yeah, it's been sitting out.
We need to start talking about putting a building on there to put these things in.
or one of those carport.
Yeah, so.
I guess, we can get some pricing and,
Yeah, I
and
think
look
I
at
might look
backhoe
into it to
versus
see.
fixing
And
tractors.
another thing, anytime that we take cut the street and cut it across, and we have to come back in with some asphalt, and then next thing you know, you got a dip and so forth. Well, over on Henthorn, over by, Ruben's house, there's a guy that's fixed two of those. One's probably about 4 feet wide, one's probably about 2 feet wide with concrete, and there's no dip there. We need to find out, I think, look into what the cost difference is. You know, anytime you go from here to Green Valley, there's 3 places where they cut across the thing, and you got a dip, and I thought, man, this concrete is really nice, but I know concrete is more expensive, but
If you're only buying a
depends on
4x8 section.
depends on how much, you
Right.
know.
That's why Adams Street's like this.
And- The only other thing I have is, we need to look in, if we're going to do it, is it's about time for American Christmas tree dinner, is it not?
I would say, yes, it's definitely getting close. It's October, and then we normally do it.
Well, I thought maybe we always did it before, years ago, we always did it in the summer, so, we don't want to let that slip through, you know. It's one thing to get donations, another thing to have the dinner and the whole thing, and I think.
I'll check with Doug, because I think last year they did a virtual one. Is what they did.
Back in the COVID, but yeah, it's better to have it in person.
Right,
Yeah, didn't we had it last year, right? Yeah.
sort of, yes.
Thought we did.
I think-
I thought we did.
We did it live.
Joe,
Oh, that's right, I was out of town. That's
Yeah,
what
we
it was.
did.
I was,
Now, you
I was in
were
Las
behind
Vegas.
somewhere, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
But I think Joe was thinking that it was a ministerial alliance, that
Right.
was looking into it, but
Yeah, 'cause
I
Doug,
don't know if he's had a
still
chance to
might
contact
take-
them or not.
Okay.
So that's my brainstorming for
We
before they go.
We'll check on that.
I was wondering if, I don't want to put more work on Public Works, but I've noticed that some people have huge piles of limbs from that last storm on the street, like by the street. Like, I know last time we had the tornado, I mean, that was a pretty significant storm, and last time we went and kind of helped people out with at least removing it. Because this house right over here, right by the old Volkswagen dealership, I mean, it's a pile higher than me. And that old man,
Stacking it pretty high.
he doesn't have any resources. That guy doesn't. I don't even know if he has electricity. But I think it would just be good for us to have a policy, if we have a huge storm or trees are being knocked down, that we offer at least something for people that aren't able to haul these limbs off.
The only thing is, do you want to be the person that makes that call?
Well, I don't know. I mean, what do you do? Like,
I know exactly
If you
what
have
you're
a
saying.
90-year-old grandma that can't, do anything, shouldn't have resources, you just leave them in her yard. I mean, I get that it's labor, but we've had two big storms kind of back to back this summer. And I was cutting up a tree with a guy over on Vernon.
I think the only risk, the risk that you run is because I can't say, well, Curtis, you're a young strapping young man and you can cut up your own damn trees, but Daryl, you're old man, you can't cut up the tree. And when they start cutting up mine, then you say, well, you did his, so do mine too, so.
I'm not talking about cutting up trees, I'm talking about like if they drag it to the street, we could at least get it hauled off down, for people that aren't able to have it moved.
I have a kind of a corollary to what you're saying, because the other day we had somebody wanting to know about getting in down there. I thought it would be worth looking at, putting some kind of mechanism on the gate where if we had a camera on it and people
We
in
do.
City Hall, no, I mean, like, when you push the button and you want to get in, we say, put your driver's license up to the screen or something so we could see who it is and whatever. And then you push the button to release the gate. Because I think that as soon as we tell the world, hey, we had a big storm and we're gonna open up the brush pile, you get everybody from Buckner and the surrounding countryside, and you get people that are doing it for hire that are taking
I saw
advantage.
people on Facebook that's from Odessa saying, hey, we will go back with free
Yeah.
brush, and they come.
Of course, so we couldn't do if somebody down here is pressing a button, we couldn't keep it open 24 hours like we do for a big storm either.
Well, you could, I mean, you just
You
have
could.
to depend on the mechanism on the
Yeah.
gate, but you can just release the mechanism. But I just thought it'd be a way to kind of keep people honest and you could have it open, because I know right now, you lock it at 4:30 or something. I mean, and I guess that's probably either way, it's gonna be 4:30.
The first couple weeks after the storm, we left it open till 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night, and the police department went down and closed at dusk time, right after the storm happened for a couple of.
But if it was something that, I don't know how you figure it,
Yeah.
maybe there would be something, so if there was somebody in the police that evening and you had it open, that somebody got there, they hit the button, you could buzz them in, so to speak. I don't know, it was just a thought on a
Well,
way to improve.
that's a good idea, but down there it's dark, it's pitch black. And down there by where you have to dump anyways, it's dark.
Oh, yeah, I don't think you want to do it 24 hours a day.
Well, no.
I was just
No.
thinking, like you're saying, that, if it's a big storm, and generally, you're only gonna have big storms through the summer, when it starts getting dark at 5 o'clock, you're not gonna have a
Right.
storm.
Are you saying that the lighting down there at the treatment plant, we don't have sufficient lighting?
That's
the brush dump off, we got.
Well, I know it's a brush drop off, but I mean, as far as the security lights around the building and.
Yeah.
And access that we have down there?
Every G's supposed to come out and fix their lights. Where as of right now, you go down there at midnight, and you might have one light on if you're lucky.
And Evergy are they delinquent in coming down, or is that,
They have not said,
how long have they been notified to do so?
at least 6 months that I know of.
6 months.
There was one at the grade school that Mr. Thompson called on for like 18 months, and it took.
Is that right? Wow. Well, we've only got another year to go.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm done.
Nothing else, take a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Is there a second? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Stand adjourned.